Hello, welcome. Today we speak about a subject that bridges scripture, ancient wisdom, and modern spiritual awakening. The 144,000. Not simply a headcount, but a frequency of awakening. If this message touches you, please tell us in the comments. Do you feel called? Which characteristic resonates most? What the Bible actually says. In the book of Revelation, the number 144,000 appears as a group sealed from the 12 tribes of Israel. Many traditions read this as a literal number, others as symbolic. For our conversation today, we'll hold the Bible's language with reverence and offer a different lens. That 144,000 points to a frequency of consciousness, an ordained vibration of light that can be entered by those who fully awaken spiritually. The frequency idea. Not people, but a state of being. Think of the 144,000 less as a strict headcount and more like a tuning fork. When a soul vibrates at that tone, when it awakens into its highest spiritual alignment, it becomes a channel for a certain luminous frequency. That frequency is what the ancient texts tried to name with numbers, metaphors, and seals. Our DNA, 12 strands, 2 active, 10 spiritual clairs. Many spiritual teachers speak about humanity's 12-strand DNA model. 2 strands are currently active in our physical biology, while the other 10 represent latent, spiritual capacities. Mainstream science usually recognizes only the 2 active physical strands. Spiritual perspectives call the other 10 dormant, but not worthless. They are the spiritual keys, the clairs, that open higher perception. Here are 10 of the primary clair gifts, short names, description. Clairvoyance, clear seeing; clairaudience, clear hearing; clairsentience, clear feeling; claircognizance, clear knowing; clairalience, clear smelling; clairgustance, clear tasting; clairaura, aura seeing; clairpsychometry, reading objects; clairtelepathy, mind-to-mind sensing; clairprecognition, clear pre-knowing. These 10 capacities show up in the Bible as prophetic visions, inner voice, sudden wisdom, and miraculous discernment. From this perspective, the dormant DNA is not garbage, it's the biological potential for spiritual perception. Who chooses the chosen? Here is a key point. The chosen ones do not receive a cosmic lottery ticket from outside and remain passive. Many spiritual teachers say they choose themselves. Souls volunteer, before incarnation, to carry the light, to take on difficult lives so they can seed consciousness on earth. They choose beings, origin and purpose. These are old souls from higher kingdoms. They're not trapped in samsara, they have walked many cycles, and they choose to incarnate as volunteers. They come because they see Earth's suffering and they want to plant consciousness, to anchor light, to raise the collective vibration. Dolores Cannon, a hypnotherapist who guided people into past life and between life memories, recorded hundreds of case studies where people described higher dimensional origins, pre-birth agreements, and the sense of volunteering for Earth service. In her work, the 144,000 is described as a group of beings from higher kingdoms who plan to seed awakened consciousness on the planet. Why they hide? History of persecution. In earlier ages, people who radiated a different vibration were often feared. Remember the Holy Inquisition? Anyone whose presence, gifts, or teaching upset the accepted order could be accused of witchcraft and persecuted. Many high-frequency souls thus learned to hide their light. Today, descendants of those lineages often unconsciously design difficult lives, trauma and anonymity, strategies to survive and to avoid detection by a system that historically punished difference. What Jesus called heaven, a dimensional perspective. Many modern mystics map the biblical concept of heaven to higher dimensions of consciousness. In that reading, what Jesus described as the kingdom of heaven aligns with a fifth dimensional field, a way of being where unity, compassion, and higher perception are normative. The 144,000 are here to bring that heaven, that fifth dimensional vibration, into earthly life. Common characteristics of these volunteer souls. If you resonate with this frequency, you may recognize some of the following patterns. If you do, write them in the comments, and say which one fits you best. 1. You don't fit. From childhood you felt out of sync with family, school, or social expectations. Life feels like a mismatch, like you arrived on the wrong planet. 2. Hypersensitivity. You feel energies intensely, other people's moods, environments, electromagnetic noise. This sensory intensity often overlaps with what we now call neurodivergence, different sensory processing, deep focus, and unique cognitive wiring. 3. A neurodivergent adaptation. Some teachers, including Dolores Cannon in her way, suggested that a degree of autism spectrum wiring, a different processing of information, helps these souls cope with Earth's dense vibration. They can process complex information but may struggle with conventional social filters. 4. Lie detection and discernment. Their heightened perception often lets them sense when something is false. Rather than confront constantly, they learn restraint, conserving energy and speaking truth only when necessary. 5. Deep empathy. Soft targets for manipulators. Their compassion makes them invaluable healers, but also vulnerable to narcissists and energy drainers. Boundary work is essential. 6. Honest, direct communication. These souls often speak truth over people-pleasing. Their filter is truth, that can seem blunt to others. 7. Calling to service. They feel a mission, to plant light, to heal, to awaken others. They volunteer for hard incarnations because the work matters more than comfort. The Sunday, 2012 and the Rising Light. Many channels and teachers speak of a shift beginning around 2012. The sun's emissions, changes in electromagnetic fields, and an increase in light frequency that amplifies consciousness. As light increases, it reveals the collective shadow. That is why awakenings accelerate and why volunteers feel urgency. Whether you read this as astrophysical or symbolic, the effect is the same. The conditions for awakening are intensifying. Invitation and practical breath. If you feel this is you, leave a comment. I resonate. Tell us which characteristic touched you most. If you're curious to develop these gifts, start with small practices: grounding, healthy boundaries, journaling visions, and compassionate community. Breathe in slowly. Imagine a steady golden light filling your chest. Breathe out slowly. You are an instrument of light. Are you one of them? Remember, being chosen is a choice you can make. You can accept the frequency. You can train your attention, anchor love, and align your life so your inner DNA sings the higher strings. If this spoke to you, please comment below. Are you one of the 144,000? Which characteristic describes you most? Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's much more on activation, the DNA strands, and the role of volunteer souls coming soon.